Hello guys, this is Lowtech Gaming. It is 3:05 a.m. in the morning. I felt that you guys deserved a public apology. Apparently my quick overview of the tale was not as complete as well, it was never going to be complete. It was just going to be a quick overview. I just wanted to quickly go over and see if there was any major changes or so. Apparently, there was some major changes, but I somehow skimmed over them. Apparently, yes. Personally, that was not my intention. I just wanted to do a quick overview and then go right into popping out towel videos or so, basically. And apparently I skipped some major features or so. So for those who are pointing that out, my sincere apologies. Yeah, thank you for catching on to that, apparently. And now let's do a proper overview video. So at least I'm just going to be focusing mostly on the patch notes here. So let's see. So let's see. So the first adjustment here is that they have changed the I can't pronounce that for the life of me. It's the how do I describe it? It's the patient hunter hits the prey warfare, basically. So the stealth warfare tactic is so using guerrilla tactics, and how it was implemented before was that in general, if you would get, I believe you would get extra, yeah, you get an accuracy bonus, so as long as you weren't detected. So, and the thing they changed about it was that now, instead of, because before that accuracy would disappear as soon as you were detected, and now that accuracy bonus will be permanently effective starting at 6,000 unit range. So with that, you'll be able to have a good accuracy bonus on your enemies or so, if you choose to use the stealth warfare option or so. I don't use it that often, so that one effect doesn't affect me, but for you guys who do like to use that type of warfare, this is great news for you guys, as it makes it much easier so for you guys to get in and out or so, because I believe it would get rid of it permanently or so once you were detected, so you had to stay hidden the entire time, but now you can effectively engage your enemy and just disappear, so kind of like the Eldar in a sense, so that's good. Next is the Kreutz Warsphere. It had a combustion gauge cooldown of 60 seconds, and I believe they reduced it. Let's take a look at this here. That you won't show it here, but yeah. According to this, they reduced it. So what? Let me go in general about this. Look at that texture pop in. That's awesome. Anyway, as you guys know, the Warsphere, as soon as it's going into position, it is essentially the epitome of inertia. So, like, literally, once it's going in one direction, it is not changing its direction for the life of it. So you need to use an all-head full maneuver to change its direction, basically, and it will not stop. It literally will not stop or change. It's insane. So it's like literally a walking brick for the most part. That's why it has 108 points. It's literally 6 more points than this. So this and this are equaling the tactical use, apparently. Anywho, so seeing how you need to use the all-ahead full maneuver to just change its course or so, which is kind of important. They've reduced the cooldown time for the gauge from 60 seconds to 40 seconds, so you guys can, well, we can all change our maneuver, well, we can all turn this thing at least a couple more times or so before we get into an engagement, and when we're in engagement, which is pretty nice or so. Moving on, it looks like this is the one thing that I didn't understand completely. So apparently the energy shield, affected torpedoes and fighters before, but now the energy shield affects only TOW fighters. So what that means is that your TOW fighters, your barracudas, will be much more efficient than all the other fighters in the game because they can take additional damage before the destruction. It only sucks because like the energy shield doesn't apply to. No, yeah, it doesn't apply to. No, I take that back. It didn't apply to the. I think it only applied to ordnance bay craft, so it applied to the monobombers and the fighters. But because the monobomber is OP apparently, so in the sense that it just melts ships' faces, they changed it to where the fighters are the only people who can take advantage of that, which is good. It gives them a significant tactical advantage over other fighters or so in the game, which is still nice. So I guess it's a nice balance. Though if I find out in the lore that the monobomber had like some prototype shield on it or so, similar to the Barracudas, then I'm gonna be sad because they sacrifice the lore for gameplay, and I'm mad about that. Anywho, moving on. Let's see. The damage upgrade for Seeker missiles has been reduced to inflict 1 damage for every 3 seconds per defensive turn on the ship. So I think they in general nerfed this. I think it was. I forgot for the most part. I'll have to look back, but what they did was I think they either did 3 things, and this is like all 3 factors that all contributed with the Seeker missile. I actually know they probably only did 2 things because I know that I did 1 damage or so per second basically, but I think they had it where it either had a shorter time before it inflicted that 1 damage, or it wasn't mitigated by a ship's armor. So one of those 2 things. I can't remember for the life of me. So, but in general, they just kind of nerfed it a little bit, just because it is very effective. Like I use it on all my ships in persistent mode because of the simple fact that it makes your ships 100 times better in close quarters situations, as all your turns are effectively firing at the enemy at the same time, reducing their HP significantly, so it can make the closest situations or so just that more or so winnable. And they nerfed it slightly. It's still useful though, so at least they didn't nerf it to a huge extent, though I think it's better that the damage is mitigated by armor, seeing how, like, what the Nurgle favor for Chaos or so basically goes through armor. But then again, it can't have a 6,000 unit range, so, and it can't be stacked like the Seeker missile. So I guess that's all good and well in that situation. Alright, what's next? Oh, here we go. The experimental railgun. It used to have a damage of 100, and now it has a damage of... No, what? No, it said that it had a reduced damage from 100 to 90. This is a little bit embarrassing, you know. Let me check here. Oh, it's 100. That's weird.
The Earth Cast forged the tools of our empire.
Okay, I guess they must have incorrect patch notes. No, it literally says here that according to this, they're supposed to have the reduced damage from 100 to 90, but apparently that's not the case here. So I don't know. Maybe they changed their mind halfway, or the person who made the patch notes didn't get the memo that, hey, we've changed our mind. We're gonna keep the experimental railgun the same. Interesting. Alright, so I guess you could disregard that. And then the final modification here, or the final input thing is that to reduce the Custodian's point level to 400. So with that, I think... No, I'm pretty sure that... I thought 2v2 was capped out at 700. I could be wrong, but if it's at 800, then that means that it allows for you to blink out a Custodian and 2v2s. And I think many people were upset about that because, like, they would get the battleship, but they just couldn't use it in 2v2. I know a good amount of people play 2v2. I don't, because I don't trust a scrub who's on my team. So for the most part, I've ended up literally having to either win games on my own. So I never put any of these up on YouTube. So I have no proof. You're gonna have to take my word for it. So, but I've either had to win games by myself, or I literally had to die. So do as much damage as I could, and then hope that my teammate would help me out, and realize that never happens. So I'm just staying away from there for the most part, just because of how rhubarb it is. Like, I would trust the AI from the campaign over my human players, because at least I can depend on the AI in the campaign to do something, or so, to be kind of dependable. So that's just me. I for the most part just play alone. I'm a lone wolf. And then the final change that they apparently added here. Actually, tell you what, let's pull it up in ranked mode. So it doesn't cost me money that I have a lot of, but I don't want to spend. You have to forgive me, it's like, it's 3 AM in the morning. Yeah. I just could get this off my chest here. So apparently they changed the Mars class here to have heavy macro batteries, apparently. So, yeah, so before, I believe it had the heavy the plasma macro batteries that had the extended range, and what they did was they changed it to basically have the proper weapon it would have. So in general, now the Mars class, in my opinion, is almost completely useless. Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, like, if anyone gets close enough for you to use the macro batteries, then you're doing something wrong, I would imagine. Or frankly, I don't have really any opinion on this whatsoever. I don't use the Mars class, and those who do, so I normally end up destroying their faces. And just because the Mars class is kind of an oddity for me, so it's I've never used. Yeah, I've never used the Mars class from what I can remember. So I might have used it once in the beta, so, but that's about it. Yeah, other than that, so I've just I've never used the Mars class just because I don't feel like it's a very useful ship. So it's like too spread out. I mean, it's an effective long-range engagement weapon, and would be the bane of, basically the bane of just Eldar. Now I think about it, just because of the fact that it has the ability to. The Nova Cannon gives it the edge over the Eldar just because the Nova Cannon can go through the Eldar shields and can two-shot Eldar light cruisers. And the use of ordnance bays allows for it to negate the, you can see here I'm like now as I'm describing it, I kind of want to use it a little bit, or so maybe later on. Also, but like the ordnance base allows for it to negate Eldar fighter attacks, so while this allows for it to deal with some short-range threats, so the lance batteries are pretty good at dealing with Eldar forces at long range, but I don't know, really indifferent about the Mars class, really. I don't know. I mean, I guess at least with the normal heavy macro batteries, it's doing more damage per volley, basically. It's doing more damage per volley, and it has less critical chance, but it's insignificant, so it's very minor. So, I don't know. I feel like the change maybe makes it a little bit better, because like if it's close enough to be using its macro batteries at least do more damage now, which is good, I suppose. But I guess that's all up to interpretation. You guys who used the Mars class ship are going to have to let me know about that. In a way, that's an overview of everything gameplay-wise that they've changed. They go into different bugs and UI changes and graphics, and yeah, I mean, really, so like you guys can read about it. So I'll probably leave a link to it on the in the description if you guys want to take a further look into it. So, but yeah, that is what I believe to be a complete overview of the changes they made to the game with the Tower Empire update. Sorry it took a second try and so long to get a proper video out again, and as always, take care, and I will catch you guys next time. I'm going back to bed. I'm tired.